the severe thunderstorm warnings. And in fact, multiple storm reports coming out of Berks County for trees and power lines down. We had a strong cold front move through last night, and now secondary shortwave energy just pushing across our area. So we've had the scattered showers across the region. Anywhere you see shaded in the yellow here, still from parts of Berks County, stretching through the Lehigh Valley here. This goes through Lehigh, Northampton County, all the way into Bucks County, Montgomery, down toward the Philly metro area, including parts of Chester County as well, until 4:45. And again, it is because they are getting gusts that are over 60 miles per hour. A 62-mile-per-hour wind gust was reported at the Reading Airport as well. So I wanted to show you some of the storm reports that you're seeing. Look at this line that is extending here from Deer Lake through Reading, and you can see the trail of the severe thunderstorm wind damage that is heading toward our area. So we'll continue to watch that. Look at the gusts occurring right now in Reading, 56 miles per hour, 41 for Wilmington. That is why we have a wind advisory out for those gusts up to 50+ miles per hour for the entire region until 8 p.m. So we will continue to monitor the gusts and the severe thunderstorm warnings as they roll through our area. Tracy.
All right, Michelle, thank you.
A report of trees into a house, so I'm sure we're going to see more. And it's all associated with this outflow boundary. It's not necessarily a cell, a particular cell that we're following, but more an entire boundary that you can see highlighted here when you look at Allentown through Reading. So again, it doesn't look like much, right, on reflectivity, but you can just tell by the extension and the expansion of this yellow here, going from Greenwich through Douglas, through Hilltown, King of Prussia, Interstate 76 down to Coatesville, Aston as well. This entire area is what we're watching for, that outflow boundary for the severe thunderstorm warning. And that will continue until we look at 4:45 p.m. And then it wouldn't surprise me if we continue to see this line track its way further to the east. It is moving east at 55 miles per hour. And you can see all the storm reports that have come with it. Look at the trail of that from Pottsville. You can see that through the Reading area, all around the Reading area into Pottstown as well. So again, we'll get numerous reports, I'm sure, as this continues to push its way closer to the metro area. You look at Reading, you can see that 56-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's all of those severe wind gusts that we're watching, and why it was only this afternoon that we had this wind advisory issued for our area for the potential for those gusts to be up to 50 miles per hour. And with those thunderstorms and that outflow boundary, getting reports of gusts over 60. Windy conditions will continue for our Wednesday, then high pressure will build in and it will be cool. The sunshine returns by the time we get into your Thursday. So it's going to be some time before we get the sunshine back on our hands and before we receive that return flow from the south and get back into some 60s. So anticipating the winds to continue. Look at this, 40+ miles per hour through your Wednesday, even Wednesday evening, still blustery, which means tomorrow morning, you know, it feels like temperatures in the 30s and taking a while to warm up through the day tomorrow. And, you know, eventually we'll have feels like temperatures in the upper 40s and maybe some 50s across the area. But again, it's going to take its sweet time. Philly's forecast will be rather chilly for tomorrow and rather gusty as well, just like tonight. And then we go into the building warmth. By the time you get to Saturday, you are looking at 80 degrees. Commutecast for this evening. Be mindful if you're driving, 2 hands definitely on the steering wheel. You know you're going to experience some gusts from time to time throughout the region. No rain, you know, aside from maybe a spotty shower to be concerned with. Again, it's the severe gusts that continue even into our later evening hours and overnight as well. Could have a few showers overnight, hit or miss with that. You look at the 10-day forecast, it's improvements really from here on out. By the time we get into Thursday, it's bright for us, sunshine, 60s return, 80s, but it does come with the chance of a few showers and clouds on Saturday and Sunday. Looking really nice for Easter, right around seasonable temperatures and some mostly cloudy skies. This is an entire outflow boundary that is just producing some severe wind gusts and knocking down trees in its path. And mostly you can really see that represented here by Reading, with the top wind gust being 56 miles per hour. We knew we had that cold front move through last night and that we would continue to see some of the chances for some showers and some strong gusty winds for today. So everywhere that you see highlighted in the yellow here, from Allentown down to Coatesville and then toward the Philly metro area, Bucks, Chester, Lehigh, Montgomery County. This is the severe thunderstorm warning area that we are talking about, where you have that opportunity as of now to see some of those very strong severe wind gusts, and reports of over 60 miles per hour have been reported, with knocking down some trees, some power lines as well. So many storm reports that are popping up here on our radar, and that's what those icons are representing. So you can see that just to the northwest of Hamburg, Interstate 78. You can see that through Reading, stretching there over from Berks County toward Interstate 476. That cell in particular off to the west, producing some of the heavier rainfall at this time, but it's very isolated in nature. What is not isolated is just the widespread strong wind gusts that you are seeing. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather in that exact area that we are following, that outflow boundary that is producing some of those severe wind gusts. So we'll continue to monitor that, and we'll also monitor the wind advisory that is for the entire region until 8 p.m. tonight, ladies.
Michelle, thank
8 p.m. So we'll see how long that is suspended for. You still have very strong wind gusts that are going to be across our region. Even past 8 p.m. when that advisory is canceled, you're going to have some strong wind gusts through tonight. So remember, there was yellow all across the area through our suburbs. That again has expired, but I put on these wind particles that you can see across your screen to show you how fast the wind is moving. So you're still having the opportunity to have some trees down as these powerful winds move across the area. That outflow boundary, though, I've been told by the National Weather Service, is weakening, so some good news there. But look at the trail of damage that this has left from Pottsville, Greenwich, through, especially around the Reading area. Like Berks County has seen the brunt of this, and then it started to weaken. But even across parts of Upper Bucks, you can see that, and then down across just north of Westchester, Interstate 76, a few reports coming in. Still looking at wind gusts up to 56 miles per hour for Reading, stretching down through the Philly area. You are looking Philly metro area, 36 miles per hour. So again, the wind alerts show you the advisories for the entire region up through the Poconos, North Jersey. For the sustained winds, 15 to 30 miles per hour, and gusts over 50 miles per hour. We stay windy for your Wednesday, then high pressure rolls in, and you just have a cooler day on Wednesday, and you'll have a warmer day as we get more so into your Thursday. Temperatures will bounce back into the 60s. You'll also have more sunshine, but for tomorrow, still gusty, gust up to 40 miles per hour. So widespread wind gusts throughout the day tomorrow, blustery as well, and the coldest day that we have for us when we look at the 10-day. In fact, high temperatures tomorrow, you're looking at least 10 degrees below average, only seeing them in the low to mid 50s. Give you a closer look at the Philadelphia metro area. Again, Chester, Piles Grove, Washington, over across South Jersey, Winslow, Buena Vista, 56 degrees. And then you factor in the gusty winds, and it could feel just like the 40s across the area. So if you're going to the Phillies game tomorrow, just prepare for a windy and a much cooler game to be on tap for sure. Then we lead into the next weather story, and that is going to be the building warmth that we will be seeing as we go into Saturday. So we have some nice days ahead, especially as we look to Thursday to get that sunshine back into the forecast, and Friday as well. So evening in the city, again, it is going to be gusty. It is dry, but those winds will stay with us, and that could make it feel pretty chilly as we go into the overnight hours. But even around 1 a.m., you're still dealing with some pretty decent wind gusts near 30 miles per hour. Overnight lows in the 40s, but the wind can make it feel like the 30s for tomorrow morning. So still got to hold on to your hat. It's going to be pretty breezy, a ponytail kind of day for you on Wednesday. The sunshine returns, 60s return on Thursday. And as we lead into Easter, though we see a dip in temperatures back to seasonable, we have really nice conditions for Easter Sunday. Tracy. Very strong wind gusts throughout the area. You can see that along the interstate there, right along I-95, but it is widespread wind advisory until 8 p.m. We'll have the very latest coming up in just a few. Jackie.
Michelle, thanks.
Setup here that we have. You have a couple of troughs, this weak wave energy, right? But it's pulsating through the area. And this is some cold air that's going to be moving in across our region, especially in those upper levels. So as that kind of works its way down through the layers of the atmosphere, you get these instability showers, and as we've seen, some of them have packed quite the punch through these afternoon hours. So from Reading down to New Morgan, Pottstown, Charlestown, Interstate 76 down to Westchester. This is where we're seeing some of the shower activity right now. And just in this batch of showers alone, gusts up to 55 miles per hour being reported. And we mentioned the storm reports that we've seen numerous, especially across Berks County. That is where we are seeing so many come in, with trees being down on homes, power lines causing several fires as well. So again, that is something that we'll continue to follow up on and track. And we also are tracking just the gusty winds that we are still receiving at this time. And it's really just this west wind that is blowing through. A lot of those storms were tracking straight to the east at a pretty quick clip. You have 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts there in Coatesville, 24 for Philadelphia. Widespread wind damage again with some of those storms that worked their way through. But that outflow boundary is weakening. The wind advisory will be expiring at 8 p.m. But even after that, you're still going to have windy conditions. You still have that area of low pressure pulling away. You're still in between two systems. As high pressure rolls in, we get on the other side of it. You get back into the southerly flow. So you have improving temperatures on Thursday. But prior to that, it's another gusty day. Winds up to 40 miles per hour, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Sustained winds there for you on Wednesday, even through Wednesday evening. So just want to point out that tomorrow morning, it is going to feel like some mid to upper 30s, and it's going to take time to feel like it's warming through the day. In fact, by 4 p.m., feeling like some upper 40s. Phillies forecast for tomorrow, if you are going, first pitch, you're looking at 53 degrees. But just remember, it's going to feel much cooler than that. Pretty chilly for that game because of the winds. We have building warmth after that to look forward to. 80 by the time we do get to Saturday. But for tonight, it is just going to be in the 40s overnight. But with that wind, that is going to continue well throughout those overnight hours. And as we mentioned, through tomorrow, it could feel like the 30s across much of the area. Quick look at the 10-day to show you that the Phillies forecast it improves for us, especially through the holiday weekend, and the holiday itself on Easter looking pretty nice with temperatures in the upper 60s.